So get ready for quali. It's like, I don't know, well it was 2 degrees I last looked. This must be around 4 to 5 degrees now, I guess. It's gonna be slippery and cold and wonderful, but at least the sun's out. Yesterday was absolutely shit weather. So this is just quali. But because the circuit is so big, 15 minutes will probably only get, what, I don't know, 5 laps? Something like that, 5 or 6 laps maybe? If it was wet, it'd probably be something like 3 to 4 laps. Yeah, so just getting ready. Just going to show you my little Apex Pro that I've been working with all year, and a bit more of the information about it. See this little device here, attached to me iPhone, and everything's controlled via Bluetooth. So it's basically, it's a lap timer without showing you the time. The LED lights, like I'll show you here, if I press that, you see they all flow on. You get change the colours, the sequence, the intensity. I have the green and red, which is the standard setup, which means that it gives you grip potential with a row of red lights, and as you turn those red lights green by using more and more grip, it'll tell you how much you've got available in any particular point of the circuit. Except the straights, where obviously the car can't accelerate quite as fast as it's got grip potential wise. So, but yeah, it's really great for instantaneous learning. And it's, you know, the real in-depth learning obviously comes afterwards. But when you're out and you're trying different lines, trying different techniques and methods, you can get an instantaneous peripheral view, because they're bloody bright. Like I got it on. I haven't got it full bright, but so that's lowest, medium, 3/4, and full bright. So yeah, it's pretty bright. I have it on 3/4. I go to drive and press start. It will start by itself if I go over 35 miles an hour, but I just kind of press start so that it's not something else I have to think about. And yeah, so as we're going out, you'll see the lights changing. I'll talk about it a bit, and it learns as you go around. It learns how much grip your car has got, and how much grip the circuit's got. So it evolves with you. It's a really neat, nifty piece of kit. Really good for learning without having I guess a coach in the car. Because normally you'd have to. So I got aim solo as well. Aim solo is just good for instantaneous, actual numerical lap time figures. Where's my glove? There we go. So that's very good for just keeping an eye on what would be a delta time. That's been basically all I use it for, and seeing how close we are to that record. But hopefully, if I don't have the phone on the dash because there's no secure way that we're allowed to really. Some people do somehow. They like take phones and stuff, but you can have the phone on your mounted somewhere so you can see the lap times as you're doing it. But I just tend to stick mine away and not have too much information because I don't look at them too much. Well, we're going for a noise test. Which we passed, thank you. Noise tests here, max are 105 decibels. What was it saying? What was it saying? Yeah, so you can set the skill level on it as well. So you can have anywhere from beginner to intermediate to a much more higher skilled driver, and I think all it really does is it narrows the operating window in terms of resolution. It sort of offsets it to the higher end of the scale, so the number of lights that lights up represent a smaller percentage of grip change, if that makes sense. Anyway, we go around and, you know, it's great for especially on track days. I'm really hoping this thing, you know, we're going to look to bring it into the UK, but I really hope they pick up the track day lot, because the track day lot can't put a timer in their car. You're not allowed to. Some people do, they have it on their phones or whatever and stuff, but you're not meant to have a lap timer in the car because it's a non-competitive event and their insurance doesn't cover it. But with this, it looks like a shift light, which is is a bit sneaky. And you can review you don't necessarily have to look at times, but you can look at how well you are utilising the available grip on the circuit, and it comes up with a Google map, essentially, with a colour-coded line around the entire map to represent how much grip you're using at any one point, so you can then go out later session and amend anything or try a little bit harder. As you can see, we're doing quali with two groups of people. There's the classic stock hatch and the hot hatch which I'm in, and so there's probably about 50 plus cars on the circuit or something ridiculous, but such a big circuit, I'm going to be spending a lot of time. Let's give this man a high five! Yay! Oh no, it's wet. I didn't even look at the track before he went out. That was stupid, wasn't it? I should have put on my wets. Oh no, it's alright. I should have softened it off a bit more though. It's always pretty darty though. I'm just going to try and get up to speed pretty quickly, because when I get in front of all these people, there's not going to be very many clear laps, and the lap's so long that if you take it quite slow just to warm stuff up, you'll probably lose out on a lap in total. Very, very faint dry line, very faint. You can see steering the wheel that's next to bugger all. So we're using the Vale chicane, not the old historic follow through, which is the circuit that I prefer more because it's faster and it's just a lot nicer. Hey, everyone's slippy slidey. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. This quali is going to be an exercise of finding the grip. And maximising your time on throttle. Dragging the rear brakes the whole way because this corner tends to understeer a bit. Trying to hold the inside line on the one bit of dry that's available. Which way am I going? Oh, shitting hell! I'm not going that way. Get on the dry, hold on the dry, get the throttle on. So I mean, traffic's going to be a huge issue. I'm going to keep it in a higher gear because I don't need that real burst of heavy torque to ruin traction. Searching out the dry lines everywhere to brake, which must make the lines look really weird. Short shift, dragging the brake and the power. Slow down extra for this, use a bit more of the curb so I can get on the power a smidge earlier. Short shift. Hold it on this dry bit because that's where all the grip is, right on this inside edge. It's drying up a bit, so the circuit's evolving, and just going to keep pumping in each lap. So each next lap that I get just means thank you, Chris. Really slippery around here. So that would have cost a bit of time, but not much I can do about that. Oh, spit of flame, Mr. McCarthy. Cheers, Pat. screwed that one up. That's alright, we're picking up time, I think, unless you miss a shift like that, and now we're losing time, so I was half a second up. Yeah, that's not what you need to do to pick up time, but anyway, you come out of the corner real slow when you do that. Through the corner, gentle slide. Oh, lovely, lovely bit of sliding. Let's compromise this bit, but hey ho. I have to get one of those Simpson things because my hands keeps getting caught on the back of the seat for some reason now. Feels weird. This is Ryan Steele and his very cool saxo. Hey! Wait, well, me too. Okay, everyone's going slippy slidey. Probably the last lap, to be honest. We picked up almost another second, which I might lose through this section here. Let's take it, be patient, brake early to hold it on the inside. flag. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Nothing too extreme happened in that session. Why does it feel weird? I hope you can see a good use of the Apex Pro device during that session as the track started evolving, getting more grip, dry lines started being pounded out a bit. You could see there was quite heavy importance on keeping the inside wheel on the one dry bit on the inside line. You couldn't really load up the outsides too much, so the extra grip was weirdly enough being found by that inside wheel. Whilst I'm going a bit slow, a little thing about heel and toe. Someone asked me, okay, lots of people can heel and toe, and weirdly enough, the technique has no importance. How you do it is completely irrelevant. Don't care. The only really important part about heel and toe is as long as you can modulate your brake pressure happily, and you're not losing out because your foot's bouncing around on the pedal, then it's all about the clutch release. You need to get your clutch release perfectly in time. So if you have a downshift and it's nice and smooth and there's no drop, it's fine. But if you have a heel and toe like this, where there's a marked delay from when you release the clutch to when it engages the engine, and so if the revs are dropping anyway, your heel and toe has achieved nothing. There's basically no point in doing it. So, heel and toe, but if you go it's going a bit too slow, it's kind of hard to demonstrate. But yeah, concentrate on your clutch release rather than the actual method or the technique you use to do heel and toe. Heel and toe itself doesn't make it go faster. I've raced against plenty of people who are just as fast without heel and toe. It's just in the minutiae, in the nuances that they make a difference in the low grip, when you're right on the edge of threshold braking and you don't need a sudden torque input on the wheel, a negative torque input to, jolt and unbalance the car and stuff. It's just those little bits that help you find fractions. It also saves your synchros like nothing else. Really helps your box last. Keeps gearbox temps down. And it's just something good to have, because if you do step into a car that needs it, then it's a handy little skill. So practice it. The more you do it, the better you become, and it's literally just a function of how much time you put into it. Since I put my bigger brakes on, the technique that I've had to do it with and the amount of pedal effort has changed, so now my pedal requires a lot less pressure, because the brakes are significantly more powerful than they were before. I can just roll my foot a little bit rather than having to worry about, before I had to have my whole ball of my foot on the pedal, be pushing really hard to get the actual braking effort in, and I had to rotate my ankle quite heavily like you would see on best motoring. What's going on, guys? Come on. Go back to the pits. There you go. The other thing as well, like you see some people, I was watching a video yesterday, who was it? Track Monsters on YouTube or something? He's got Honda he races with in America, and he was at New Jersey Motorsport Park. Call out, shout out, whoa! and he could actually touch the windscreen to wipe the condensation off it. Like I'm a good foot and a half away from it. So I'd have to have a stick with a rag on or something. Or the best thing I found, I used to use a lot of professional anti-fog products. Rain-X anti-fog is particularly useless. Sorry, Rain-X. But CarPro's Fog Fight was really good, but that seems to, you know, if you have it in your box for ages, it tends to go off, if that's a thing. So I've ended up using shaving foam, and shaving foam works absolutely fucking brilliantly. So going backwards or staying in the front? Thank you, Will. There we go. Quali finished. Less exciting than last time, but at least you know the car still slides around. Arrivederci!